I think it rings a little bit hollow for Republicans when they seem to have no problem with Donald Trump issuing pardons to people who have committed fraud against American people left and right, seemingly giving a pardon out to the highest bidder. But putting all that aside, what we're seeing right now on video play out isn't fraud, isn't white collar crime. It's ultimately American citizens getting killed by law enforcement, the people who are supposed to serve and protect, who should be using lethal force as the last resort, not the first resort. And when you see the numbers, when you see 8-on-1, 7-on-1, 6-on-1, multiple law enforcement bodies surrounding one person who isn't brandishing a weapon, there's no gun in his hand, and yet still ends up getting killed, shot, in broad daylight. That video tells the story, and the American people overwhelmingly seem to not like what they're seeing. When you look at the poll numbers, when Trump came into office, immigration was his strongest issue. It had overwhelming support across the board. And over recent days and weeks, we've just seen those numbers crater and plummet. And reports out of Washington that the White House is really concerned about these optics. Stuff that happened like today is not going to improve the situation for him.
Yeah, and Kurt, you say the video.
No. I think one of the issues is I've seen video that shows an officer removing a firearm from the suspect, in slow motion. So the firearm wasn't there. I'm curious about what the communication was. I can tell you I have a lot of skepticism as someone who knows what it's like to be manhandled by law enforcement, hear them yell things like, stop resisting, when you're not resisting, but that's what they're trying to do because it looks good, sounds good. They're trying to make their case. I've watched law enforcement lie in a police report about incidences that have happened. So I just, from my own personal experience of having been wrongfully arrested before, wrongfully manhandled and brutalized by police, I don't take anything they say with face value, which is why there needs to be an independent review, an independent investigation. We used to have the structures in place within DOJ to do just that in these types of situations. Unfortunately, Donald Trump's administration fired all those people, zeroed out their budget. There used to be a 52-employee unit that did exactly this. They took it out of the 2026 budget and shut it down. Secrecy breeds mistrust. The American people want answers. They want thoughtful investigation. They want the facts to lead you to the right conclusions. It's hard to believe that this administration will do that within minutes. They are out there publicly saying this was domestic terrorist. This was someone who was intent on doing the most harm to law enforcement. There's no evidence of that yet. Maybe that evidence will eventually come up.
There is actually, Kurt,
like,
there is.
Having a firearm isn't evidence of anything, because if that were the case, Kyle Rittenhouse wouldn't be regarded as a freaking hero to Republicans when he showed up to a protest with a freaking AR-15.
Yeah, gentlemen, I wish we had more time, but Kurt Bardella, Arif Halaby, I appreciate the analysis and the perspective both of you brought to bear tonight. Thank you so much.